Overview 2 is how paperless overnight will put your firm into high growth and profits. Right now, today, if we go into an accounting office, this is what it looks like on the top left. A few weeks from now, I'd like it to look like the bottom right. This is what my wife's office looks like. There's not a single piece of paper anywhere to be found. Paper is evil in our lives. The way we do this, the way she got started at least, is she took every piece of paper and she just dumped it on her scanner of fax, and it went into our document management server in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Now, I've had these servers since 1985. We've had it 1995. They didn't have servers in 85, I'm sorry. So we've been there a long time though. That's 15, 16 years I've done business with this company. That's my rack that you're looking at in this picture. And that didn't sound so good, did it? So anyway, what happens is we just dump all those documents in there and it goes into the server, and then, oh, by the way, in the bottom left, you're going to see a little comment here, dual monitors and document management, 8 hours of work in 4 hours. This is so critical. I cannot say this often enough. 8 hours of work can be done in 4 hours a day if you're paperless and using dual monitors. Dual monitors are $200 or less each, and the card and the installation will be another $100. This is an incredibly inexpensive way to increase productivity in any accounting firm. So when these documents, let's go on now to the documents that come in, and the documents come in, they're divided up automatically by the system into individual websites, what we call red pages. And you saw that on overview section 1. The red page is where your clients access their workflow documents. And of course, you have the green page, which operates as the management system. You're sitting on top of all of your clients' documents, and you can see everything all the time from that green page. Of course, the client on the red page cannot see client number 2's red page. That'd be kind of silly. Then underneath each of these red pages is the batch of blue pages where all of your clients' customers can review their documents. Now, we manage all this. We handle it, because when we name a document, and let's go back to the jet company, when we name a document, one of the categories or fields on the jet company is we do everything by tail number. So NC 1017 might be the tail number of the airplane. When we name the document NC 1017, not only does it show up on the red page for the client, on the green page for the accountant, if there's some work associated with that document for you, but it also shows up in the blue folder called NC-1017. And so the client goes to their blue folder and they can see every piece of paper that has to do with their airplane. Now, if the client wants to hide something, if your client wants to hide something from their customer, there's a little privacy button they can click on and it won't show up. But that actually doesn't get used very often. Okay, so I'm going to give you the next really big benefit though, and this is probably one of the most exciting things of all. In our business, this is what really turned things around. Well, I'll tell you what prompted it was the guy at 6 o'clock in the morning with the garbage sack full of receipts, and he wanted us to get these scanned in so the tax return could be done before the sales tax could be done before deadline. That's enough of that. That's chaos, confusion, and it's plumb nuts. And that's letting the tail wag the dog, and you cannot build a business. You can have a practice, and you can be busy like you can't even believe. But it was not my objective, putting my wife into the accounting business, it was not my objective that she was going to work herself to death and trade a lot of hours for dollars. I wanted her to have a business. And so we had to take those friction points out. Nobody comes to our house. Nobody mails us documents. Everyone has their own red page that we do business with, whether it's a tax return client and once a year, or an outsourced client and we do business with them several times a day. They all have their own web address where they scan or fax all their documents right into the server. And of course, from my green page, I can manage that. Every client has their own filing cabinet, their own red page, and this is where they not only see the work that's going on in their business, because you'll hear me say this many times, in business, the piece of paper is the work. You see, nothing happens in business where paper is not generated within 30 seconds. Isn't that amazing? Nothing happens. So if you can capture that piece of paper, you've captured the work. And the process can be managed because you have that piece of paper. Now, when that paper comes in on that red page for the client, We actually have a human being that sits down at 7 p.m. and reads the piece of paper by hand. And they name the paper. Maybe it's Home Depot, it's a credit memo, it's on the Tobacco Road project, it's $218. It was issued August 13th. Those are all drop-down fields, database fields that can be searched. So once it's done, once the page is named, you get billed 15 cents. Of course, if a piece of paper comes in like a fax cover sheet, or when our clients send in their American Express bill, it might be 14 pages long, but 8 pages are advertising. We don't bill you for those 8 pages. We call those skips. And they're junk, so we skip over them. There's no invoice. When a page is named, though, then we need to retrieve it. There's going to be a lot of times when your client wants to look up their American Express bill, or they want to look at that Home Office Depot or that Home Depot credit memo. All they need to do is click on their red page, click on search, and then they're using the exact same drop-down boxes that our document technicians, we call them dots, our document technicians will click on that same search box, and in a matter of 3 seconds, searching millions of pages, thumbnails come up of the documents that you're looking for. And now you'll notice that there's color halos around these documents. And that color halo tells us the process, where that document is in workflow. If there's a yellow halo around it, that means it's in review. And what a review page means is that there's work still being done on this piece of paper. It's either moving up the skill chain to the boss or down the skill chain to data entry, but something's not completed. If it's a green page, that means it's posted and closed. If it's a blue halo, then that means that no work's been done at this at all. It's a brand new open document and we haven't started. You click on one of those thumbnails and the document pops up. So now we can see the Home Depot credit memo and all the details. On the right-hand column, we can see all of the naming processes, and we can also see who's done the work on this. But the most important thing on this overview number 2 is you are now a totally paperless business. Documents do not get into your life. There is no paper in your life. It's very easy to talk the clients into sending everything by scanner or fax. We tell our clients to put a banker's box under their fax machine or their scanner and just put everything into the scanner, let it fall in the banker's box, do not file it. When the box is full, mark the date, put it on the shelf. If you ever need to find an original document, you can simply go to your document management, get the date, go back to the banker's box, and dig down for it. But you know something really interesting? We've been paperless since 1997. Of course, our systems in 97 were archaic. They were stone knives and bear claws compared to what we can do today. But do you know, since 1997, I've been through lawsuits, divorces, bankruptcies, expansions, franchises, and do you know I've never had to come up with an original document? Not once. Not once have I had to produce an original document for everything that goes on. Now that may sound like a lot over 15 years when you list it all at one time. Oh my God, that's a lot of stuff you've been through. We all go through lots of stuff. The story here is that over all these years, since 1997, my facsimile, my PDF of that document has been sufficient for anything that I've needed to get done. So we just tell clients, put in the box. If they want to save it forever, we let them. That's fine. If they want to throw the box out, we tell them, well, wait a year and then throw the box out. But that's good. Okay, so let's go on. You are now a paperless business, and that takes us to the end of overview number 2.